على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر إن قرآن الفجر كان مشهودا ومن الليل فتهجد به نافلة لك عسى أن يبعثك ربك مقاما محمودا وقل رب أدخلني مدخل صدق وأخرجني مخرج صدق واجعل لي من لدنك سلطانا نصيرا صدق الله العظيم وبلغنا رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك من الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Surah Bani Israeel. In the ayat that we did previously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has talked about what would happen to the kuffar if they keep on troubling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala called them to Iman. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presented reasons, and here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning the immediately adjacent past ayat. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned His bounties over humanity and there is signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then what is going to happen to people of Makkah if they keep on troubling and bothering the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, or if they push him out. Then this is a command to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam: أقم الصلاة لدلوك الشمس إلى غسق الليل وقرآن الفجر. So to deal with the things of the kuffar, O Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, establish salah. So this ayah, it establishes the 5 prayers. Aqim as-salah, establish salah, which means that establish salah, read salah with all its requisites, taking care of all of those. Liduluk ash-shamsi ila ghasaqil layl. Duluk means the decline. Between the decline of the sun, ila ghasaqil layl, and the darkness of the night. So from the decline of the sun, which means after midday, this is time for Zuhur Salah, up to the darkness of the night, which is according to Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi alayhi, the darkness, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says darkness of the night, it means that the whiteness on the sky, which is the white twilight or shafaq abyad, that also disappears. Ghasaqil layl, between that pray. Wa Qur'an al-Fajr, and then particularly, especially Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala separately mentions Fajr, that recite Quran in Fajr. Establish the recital at dawn. Quran literally means something that is recited. So this recital at dawn, it refers to the Fajr Salah. So this is how the 4 Salah are mentioned in the Quran. Inna Qur'an al-Fajri kana mashhuda. Surely the recital at dawn, which is the Fajr Salah, is well attended. Mashhuda, something that is in witness of. So mashhuda, this refers to the angels. And from Sahih Hadith we learned that angels which are appointed at every single human being, that protect a human being, and those that are kiraman katibin, that have been referred to as the noble writers, which are the writers of the good and the evil of whatever a human being does. Those angels, their duties, those angels that are doing those duties, they are separate for the day and the night. And in the Salatul Fajr, all of them come, and the ones who are supposed to go away after having performed their duty of the night, and those who are supposed to start their duty, they collect in Salatul Fajr. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Qur'an al-Fajri kana mashhuda. Then another special prayer right after first Salah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ, and from the night. فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ. This refers to the tahajjud, the Salah of tahajjud, that وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ, stay up for the Salat of tahajjud. نَافِلَةً لَكَ, it is an additional prayer for you. So before these 5 prayers were given, Salatul Tahajjud, the night prayer, was farz upon all Muslims. And after this ayah, the other, and then the night of Mi'raj, the 5 prayers were given, and Salatul Tahajjud was made a nafil, an extra prayer. If somebody does it, there is reward, and great and extreme reward. And from this ayah we also learn that after first salah, this is the most valuable salah. Nafilatan lak, it is additional prayer for you. Asa an yab'athaka rabbuka maqaman mahmuda, it is very likely that your Lord will place you at a praised station, maqamam mahmuda. And from this, about this maqamam mahmud, what is this praised station of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam? It is a special station of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We learn from the hadith that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said that on the day of judgment, when human beings will go from person to person and from nabi to nabi asking for intercession and getting the day of judgment, the proceedings of the day of judgment started, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be the only one who would be in a station to stand in their intercession, for their intercession, and intercede and pray before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This has been told to us as the Maqam al-Mahmud, or the highly praised station of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, only specific for the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would intercede on behalf of the whole humanity. Some firqa, they have in the past, and so also today, some people have argued that intercession of a prophet, there's different extremes to it. Some people go to the extreme where they say that the intercession of a prophet will not also be heard on that day. No, that has been proven from the Quran and several ahadith which are mutawatir, widely known, famous ahadith, widely narrated by many Sahaba, that the Prophet ﷺ has said that the intercession of Anbiya, the intercession of teachers in favor of their students, the intercession of Huffaz, the intercession of Shuhada, the intercession of pious people, all of them have been mentioned. So the Prophet ﷺ would intercede on behalf of people. And the reason why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned it right next to Tahajjud, the Salatul Tahajjud, this herein is a hint, according to ulama, that Tahajjud, the night prayer, has a special connection with being able to intercede on behalf of people on that day. How much time? وَقُلْ رَبِّ أَدْخِلْنِي مُدْخَلَ صِدْقٍ وَأَخْرِجْنِي مُخْرَجَ صِدْقٍ وَاجْعَلْنِي مِنْ لَدُنْكَ سُلْطَانًا نَصِيرًا. And second command to the Prophet ﷺ is that, say, O my Lord, make me enter a rightful entrance, وَأَخْرِجْنِي مُخْرَجَ صِدْقٍ, and make me exit a rightful exit, وَاجْعَلْنِي مِنْ لَدُنْكَ سُلْطَانًا نَصِيرًا, and grant me from your own a power favored by you. So this refers to the Prophet ﷺ leaving Makkah and entering Medina. And this was by command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The Prophet ﷺ is being told to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that, Ya Allah, when I leave, when I enter, make me enter with sidq. So meaning of sidq is doing something. One meaning is truthful, but depending on the situation and where it is mentioned in the Quran, the other meaning here, which is an example here, similarly, fi maqada sidqin inna maliki muqtadir, that another's lisana sidq. So sometimes this word sidq is also made in a beautiful, rightful manner. So when the Prophet ﷺ enters Medina, he enters peacefully, comfortably, and with pleasure, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala makes the environment of Medina suitable and favorable and welcoming for him, which is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did when the Prophet ﷺ ultimately migrated to Medina. And also when he leaves Makkah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects him and makes it easy for him to leave Makkah. And that is what happened when the Prophet ﷺ on the night of migration, he was protected by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the kuffar were blinded by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and even if some of them tried to follow the Prophet ﷺ, they were not able to find him, although they came very close. And then one particular narration of Surah ibn Malik, that he found the Prophet ﷺ, and when he wanted to come close to the Prophet ﷺ, his horse got stuck, not once but twice and thrice. Anyway, so Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected. And this dua is something that the Prophet ﷺ was advised to do, and the whole ummah is also advised to do it, that whenever you have some special work or some special job or some special mission or assignment, then make this dua, Rabbi adkhilni mudkhala sidq wa akhrijni mukhraj sidq waj'alni min ladunka sultanan nasira. The last thing, the last part of the sentence is that, Ya Allah, from your own, grant me from your own a power favored by you. So the Prophet ﷺ is being taught, although he is the most beloved, the closest Nabi of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, still he is being taught to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to have a favorable power on this earth for himself as well. So we are human beings and we are weak, and it is not easy for us to fight against all odds and still stick firmly to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we should also ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make things favorable, to make the authorities favorable, the powers favorable, so that it is, our job becomes easier for us. وَقُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ, and say, truth has come and falsehood has vanished. إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا, falsehood is surely bound to vanish. So this teaching was also given to the Prophet ﷺ. This dua was given to the Prophet ﷺ before he left Makkah, before he migrated. So therein there was news for the Prophet ﷺ that someday he will return back to Makkah, conquering it, and haqq, the truth, would come forcefully to Makkah, and batil, all evil, all falsehood, will vanish that day, and it will vanish, and it is bound to vanish. Also in the previous ayah, it is mentioned that these two cities, combining these two ayat, these two cities, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grants the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam mudkhala sidq in Medina, then sidq, this mudkhal, this entrance of sidq, means that it will be a permanent entrance of rightfulness into Medina. And then جاء الحق وزهق الباطل إن الباطل كان زهوقا, when haqq would return to Makkah, then it will also return with permanence. So Makkah and Medina, these cities are well preserved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala up to the day of judgment. And this is what happened in reality when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam finally, in the 8th year after his migration, he conquered Makkah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made him enter Makkah. He very humbly, his head was lowered, so lowered that it was about to touch the back of his ride, and he entered Makkah. And then at that point, all the idols that were there in the all the statues in the Kaaba itself, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had a stick, and it is narrated in the narration the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would even only point that stick towards those idols and read this ayah, and those idols and those statues would come tumbling down to the feet of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam was quietly reciting this ayah, قُلْ جَاءَ الْحَقُّ وَزَهَقَ الْبَاطِلُ إِنَّ الْبَاطِلَ كَانَ زَهُوقًا. This ayah is also a very strong ayah in treating illnesses of magic and effects of other shayateen. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from all those effects, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us steadfast on the deen of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. رَبَّنَا تَقَبَّلْ مِنَّا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ وَتُبْ عَلَيْنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ التَّوَّابُ الرَّحِيمُ وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين آمين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.